Welcome back to the final episode of the Elden Ring Chronicles, where I tell Frank the last thing in my little book of big complaints. This one, you cannot argue with. I guarantee you. So this one's got a bit of a story behind it, Frank. I went to the catacombs of the Black Knife, or something like that. Black Knife Catacombs, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In that dungeon, there is a hidden boss. The Black Knife boss, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat him, and he gave me a knife called the Black Knife. It was very creative.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Knife has holy damage automatically imbued within it, which just so happens to be the weakness of the actual boss of that dungeon. The reason that I wanted to use that knife is for that specific reason. I looked up, okay, what the fuck do I do with this boss? Oh, he's weak to holy damage. Oh, I can use the Black Knife that I got. When I went to go into my inventory to look for the Black Knife, I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I then realized there were a few other items in my inventory that was missing, and I decided to Google it. It turns out, Frank, that there is an actual bug that still exists in the game that randomly deletes weapons and items from your inventory. I wrote, how is this still a thing at this point? I have stopped playing the game and have not gone back to it since.
That's some good spaghetti cup.
And I thought to myself, that's pretty cool. So what you're saying is that I could lose an item that I need to progress through the game, and just nothing, I can't do anything about it. Cool. I was reading stories about people losing their main weapon, sometimes armor sets, sometimes small things that they don't notice, like, things they've crafted or whatever. But that was the first time I noticed it, and I wondered how many things have I completely just got missed because they've just gotten deleted out of my inventory for no rhyme or reason.
Very interesting.
Any excuses, Franks? Any more defending you got going on?
No, like I said, I've never even heard of that bug.
Well, it's a bug that still exists, has been there from the beginning. I was reading through a Reddit post, and there were, literally comments from when the game came out to, today. And everyone's like, yep, I'm still losing items. Really wish they'd fix it. And they just haven't, because I guess they don't care that there's a game-breaking bug. So, it's weird, right? Because, I'm glad I discovered it, and also that, I discovered it when I did before I lost an item that was important. But I don't even want to play the game anymore now, because I'm worried I'm just going to lose something super important.
Hopefully, when they eventually find what is causing it and they can fix it, they might be able to give you your items back, because there have been some patch changes they've done where they've changed the loot drops on one of the dungeon bosses to where you need to go into New Game Plus to get the original drop that it gave, but if you already cleared it in your first gameplay, they added the new item straight into your inventory that you were supposed to get for the first defeat of the enemy in the new patch. So hopefully if they find the fix to that, and hopefully they do find the fix to that, they might be able to find a way to reverse what caused it and thus put the items back into your save file, is certainly what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping for it too.
Yeah, it's similar to one of the other really big bugs that has a chance of happening that never happened to me, but I've heard in the group it happened a couple of times to them, where sometimes you can mount your horse and then get locked in the air and then fall to your death as the horse rides off into the sunset.
That's pretty cool.
And I've seen clips of it, and luckily they fixed that bug. But I'm like, that never happened to me, but that's just funny.
Now, I want to end this on my little thesis, on my little closing notes, okay? I've said a lot of words these last 4 episodes. We've all said things we're going to regret, whether you like it or not. But in reality, I don't hate the game. If I really hated it, I wouldn't have played it as much as I have. I put 20 hours into it or something. And, I do want to finish it. I do want to keep playing it. There's just a lot of little issues that are just starting to really annoy me. And I've started to come to a conclusion that I think I actually started feeling a little while ago. When Dark Souls 1 first came out, or rather when I first started playing it, I was like, this game is fucking pog, dude. I love this shit. This is amazing. When Dark Souls 2 was coming out, I was so excited for that game. I pre-ordered it. I got a cool little statue. I got fucking I was like, hell yeah, dude.
I can feel my insides running right now.
What?
Are you not going to continue your point on Dark Souls 2? I thought you were going to start the trend by saying you pre-ordered Dark Souls 2 and then you disliked the game.
No, I like
And
Dark
I
Souls
was
2. I
so
keep
dead
telling you
inside.
this. I was pogged the fuck up with Dark Souls 2, man. That's the first game that I immediately played a second playthrough of it after doing the first one. I just don't like it as
Yeah.
much as you do. And then Bloodborne came out, and I was so excited for that. I bought a fucking PS4 for that shit, man. I love Bloodborne.
I mean, PS4 is the reason why Bloodborne is the reason why I got my original PS4.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was saying.
And if Sony would let me fucking buy it, Demon Souls is the only reason I'd buy a PS5. And then maybe a future game comes out that's good. That's a unique game on that. But like, you know, if
But-
Sony would get their head out of their ass and actually sell the console, that'd be great.
But listen, then we come to Dark Souls 3. And I'm like, okay. I might have pre-ordered it, but I don't think I got like a statue or anything like that. I played through the game once, and I gotta be honest, I kind of struggle to remember everything that happened in that game. It's a good game. I beat it. I didn't finish like the last DLC, I don't think. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. It was good. I remember liking it, but I was kind of just not really there. I wasn't really in it. And then Sekiro I was so uninterested in, I just didn't even pick it up. And now we're here at Elden Ring. And I think Elden Ring has finally brought me to the conclusion that I think I should have realized a while ago. You can insert the meme of the kid turning around who says, "I don't care that you broke your elbow," because I'm going to say it. I think I don't really much care for the Dark Souls formula anymore.
I
There
mean, that's
said it.
fair.
I think that it just doesn't appeal to me. Getting my ass kicked, having everything in the game be against me, spending hours on one boss and just hitting my head against the wall, suddenly all the appeal for that just doesn't exist for me anymore. I feel like I'm playing this game because I have to, more than because I want to. And I think it's weird to say that like Elden Ring is the game, the one that everyone loves, is the one that's kind of taught me that I don't think I like this formula anymore.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, Elden Ring is the first Souls game, not including Sekiro. That's why I'm saying Souls game
Yeah.
and Bloodborne game. It's the only one that I actually had considered dropping. Near the end of the game, like the fifth to last boss, which is like a side boss, but I had to do it because I did a thing that locked me into a thing unless I beat that boss. I fucking hated that boss. It was a cancer fight because some of the bosses have RNG strings. And sometimes you just get fights where they get locked into an RNG string that gives you no window to fight back, or most likely just kills you because you run out of stamina rolling.
If
And
there's-
that boss fight sucked. Then you get to the last boss fight. Like every boss fight after that, I was like, oh, these are pretty cool fights. These are some of the best fights in the game. This is sick. The last boss almost made me not want to finish the game. Partially because the boss has these attacks where you go, okay, he swings the hammer and then I dodge. No. What you do is you dodge a second later because the hammer explodes. You don't dodge the hammer, you dodge the explosion, even though the hammer looks like it's a physical attack that would
you were
hit you.
talking about this, I think, in the last
In Minecraft.
Minecraft, not
probably.
Need for Speed.
It was in Minecraft.
Okay,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
A little bit.
One thing I've heard a lot about this game is that it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit by the end, and a lot of people were kind
Yes.
of done. And I just think to myself, I don't think I'm even going to get to that point. Like, I do think I'll get back to it, but I'm really struggling to want to right now, especially with that bug. It's just like, oh man, great. Every time I boot up the game, I could just lose an important item.
Yeah, and then it's like, you know, as the final boss, like, just slam my head against it over and over again. It's like, yeah, well, I'm just playing a faith build, and faith build just is not that good in this game compared to, like, sorcery or dex, or magic. I mean, magic dex, or, like, you know, some
They
in
fucking
between.
love sorceries. Sorcerers are even good in this game, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna get ready to respec and just go
I'm
in.
so
I'm gonna
annoyed.
cheese the boss with
I-
the flask, and we're gonna be fine.
I keep
And
doing
then-
these little quests that's like you know, you gotta find this NPC and complete his quest and find his corpse and get this key and go to this tower. And it's like, and then finally, once you've done all that, you can get the chest at the very top. I'm like, oh my god! And I'd get there and it's a fucking another magic slot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But like, and then my friends introduced me to the Hoarfrost axe. This is in the original version of the game before it got nerfed in the first patch of the game.
Right.
And then I just used it, cheesed the final boss, and I was like, thank God I'm fucking done with this, and I don't have to do that fight again. Thank
Except
you.
now that you're doing a randomizer.
Eventually, yes, I'll be forced to do that again, but it won't be for another 90 hours, so that's fine.
I mean,
It
look,
may be
if
about
you want to play
120.
that game twice, but like, I can't do it, man. I want to beat it once, but then I think I'll be done. And I was going to say, the one little funny thing is that if you look at it one way, I kind of did stop playing Elden Ring in order to play Fortnite, which is a very funny sentence.
That's pretty bad. Like, if you had no context and that was the direct quote,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Anyway, there's my Elden Ring.
This game
Fortnite.
was so bad it made me want to play Fortnite.
I don't legitimately think it's bad as well. I want to point that out there. In terms of my favorite to least favorite Dark Souls games, or my personal list, don't get me wrong, it's still pretty low, but I still don't think it's like, you know, the worst or anything.
I agree.
And if anyone's like, it's my favorite game of all time, I'd be like, yeah, okay. You know, I wouldn't argue with them. Do I think it's the best game of all time like everyone's saying? No. I think that's evident. Yeah. I have an entire book of reasons why. And to be honest, you didn't disagree with a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Is people in the group chat are like, this game's a masterpiece 10 out of 10. I'm like, no, it's not. You can't say it's a 10 out of 10 because it has glaring problems with it. It has problems. People sometimes act like there is, oh, I have my job here. Blacklist 10, Carl Smith, Baron.
Smith.
This flake calls himself Baron. He's rich. He's a rich guy from the coast. He thinks garage custom is an excuse for being broke. As far as he's concerned, if it's not name brand, it's nothing. Go show him what homegrown rides can do.
I really bought like 2 cars. The rest of them I stole from people I killed.
Did you kill the last Evil X, by the way?
Yeah.
This is the new
I
one?
smashed him. He kept getting crashes and he was gone forever. I never saw him.
Anyway, I think we're done with the Elden Ring stuff, unless you have anything more to add, or any questions for me. Because, like, there are parts that I like, there are parts where I'm like, this is fun. Usually the parts where I was just kind of wandering around and, like, not encountering some of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And just
what was the first,
exploring.
what was the first real boss you beat? Like, not the side dungeons? Like, the first, like, boss that wasn't in, like, a catacombs-like place. So I'm just curious on your, on the kind of pathing you've done.
Well, I explored for a while. Oh, it was the guy down way south, where that castle town was on siege.
So the big castle, and it was the misbegotten guy with the grafted great sword, like the big sword with swords attached to it.
That was the first one I did.
Damn, I owe a lot of money to the police. $3,000, $8,000, $2,000.
Because you're in police chases 90% of this game.
Yeah, I know, that's good.
Yeah, you're just a demon.
So,
you're just causing.
This is the car
I've already said this. You're a fucking terrorist. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, this is the car I beat, right? Top speed, acceleration, handling. That's the one that's my best car, right? Because I upgraded it. That's my second best car. I beat him with this one.
Why did you do that one?
Because it's what I had when I was doing my cop chases, and I'm like, oh, whoops, I still have this car. I'll probably swap it after I lose to this guy. And then I didn't lose to him. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time on friggin' this. Bye.
Yeah.